At 19, he sat in a Harvard dorm room writing code for a site where students rated each other's looks. 20 years later, he runs a company whose products are used by every third person on the planet. This is the story of a man who changed the way we communicate and became one of the most controversial figures of his generation along the way. Meet Mark Zuckerberg. Mark Elliott Zuckerberg was born on May 14, 1984, in White Plains, New York. His father was a dentist, his mother a psychiatrist. Mark got into programming while still in school. His father hired him a private tutor, and later the teenager wrote a program on his own for internal communication at the family's dental practice. In high school, Mark created a music player called Synapse with elements of artificial intelligence. The program caught the attention of major companies, including Microsoft and AOL, who offered to buy the project and hire the young developer. But Zuckerberg turned them down and enrolled at Harvard University. At Harvard, Mark quickly earned a scandalous reputation. It started with FaceMash, a project that compared photos of female students and asked people to vote on who was more attractive. The site hacked into the university's network and was shut down by the administration on its very first day. But the lesson wasn't wasted. On February 4, 2004, Zuckerberg, along with fellow students Eduardo Saverin, Dustin Moskovitz, and Chris Hughes, launched the Facebook.com, initially available only to Harvard students. This is the moment when one of the most famous legal disputes in tech history began. The Winklevoss twins and their partner Divya Narendra claimed Mark had stolen their idea for a social network called ConnectU. The case ended in a multi-million-dollar settlement and later inspired the film The Social Network. The site quickly spread to other universities, and by the summer of 2004, Zuckerberg made the decision that would define the rest of his life. He dropped out of Harvard and moved to Silicon Valley. In Palo Alto, the fledgling company got its first backing from investor Peter Thiel, who put in $500,000. Facebook grew rapidly. In 2005, the site opened up to high school students, and in 2006 to anyone over the age of 13. The company turned down billion-dollar acquisition offers, including interest from Yahoo. Zuckerberg believed he was building something far bigger than just another college website. In 2012, Facebook held its IPO, one of the largest in tech industry history, valuing the company at $100 billion. That same year, Zuckerberg made a key strategic move, acquiring Instagram for just $1 billion. 2 years later came the WhatsApp deal, this time for $19 billion. But the growth of this empire came with major scandals. In 2018, the Cambridge Analytica scandal broke. It emerged that the data of tens of millions of Facebook users had been obtained without proper consent and used for political purposes, including US presidential elections. Zuckerberg was summoned to testify before Congress. Footage of senators asking him basic questions about how the internet works became internet memes. The company faced accusations of spreading misinformation, failing to moderate content adequately, and harming teenagers' mental health, particularly through Instagram. All of this forced Zuckerberg to repeatedly issue public apologies and promise reforms. But criticism of the company continued for years. In October 2021, the company made an unexpected move. Facebook rebranded as Meta, and Zuckerberg announced that the metaverse, virtual spaces for work, socializing, and entertainment, would be the company's focus for years to come. The project cost the company tens of billions of dollars in investment, and results initially fell short of investor expectations. But at the same time, Zuckerberg made a second major bet on artificial intelligence, developing the company's own language models and investing heavily in computing infrastructure and AI talent. Today, Zuckerberg remains one of the wealthiest people on the planet and still personally runs the company he founded 20 years ago in a college dorm room. Mark Zuckerberg's journey is the story of how a student project turned into a global communication infrastructure for billions of people. A story of success, ambition, controversial decisions, and a constant drive to look one step ahead, whether in social networking, the metaverse, or artificial intelligence. Some see him as a genius who changed the world for the better. Others see him as a symbol of how technology can spiral out of control. Perhaps, as always, the truth lies somewhere in between.